Welcome to another installment of 5-Minute Tones. On today's video, we are on the Axe 3, and I want to take a look at the SPLAWN models. There are models of the various channels and switching configurations on the SPLAWN Quick Rod, which is essentially a hot-rodded Marshall variation. It's a little bit different to your Friedman, it's a little bit different to your Cameron, but essentially it's a hot-rodded Marshall. Then there is the SPLAWN Nitro. There are the two different dirt modes modeled on there. That's a bit of a different animal, which we will get to. I've actually got quite a bit of experience recording the Nitro. If you've listened to the Ragdoll album Back to Zero, that was one of the amps we used in conjunction with an old rectifier to get the tones on that album. And to my ears, it's kind of like a JCM 800 with some Recto DNA in it. Anyway, to get started, let's start out with the SPLAWN Q-Rod OD1-1. There are models of the OD1 and OD2 mode, and each of them have 3 variations. So I'm just going to start off at the stock settings, and we'll do OD1 and its 3 different modes, then OD2 and its 3 different modes. This is a little bit like the BE and HBE modes on the Friedman models on there. To me, OD1 has that BE thing. In particular, I really like the OD1-1 setting on there. It's a bit tighter and more percussive sounding, just at the stock settings anyway. And then OD2 is a little bit more like your HBE. It does have a little bit more gain. It's a little bit kind of darker and, dare I say, browner sounding on there. But out of the quick rod models, OD1-1 is the one I really dig. And I actually like bringing the master volume down to around 3 on this one. We'll compensate by turning the level up a little bit and go for maybe a little less gain, and then just turn the treble, mid-range, and the bass up to around 6 or 7. It's a pretty slamming rock tone. Like any good Marshall style amp as well, hitting the front end with some kind of overdrive set up for a boost. I'm using the Valve Screamer VS9, so tube screamer in there, drive all the way down, tone and level cranked up. That works quite nicely on there. I should have mentioned I'm using my free Cab IR. Check the video description if you want to download that one. And a little bit of the good old gold plate reverb, 8% mix, time at 1.5 seconds. That's my favorite plate reverb in there anyway. There's so many great reverbs happening in the Axe effects. So they're the quick rods. I would encourage you, try the different models like we did here, just stock settings, find the one that you vibe with the quickest, and then dial it in to your taste. Even though there's 6 variations, to me, like OD1-1 works for what I like, which is that slightly tighter, more percussive sound in there. If you're using single coils or using like P90s or a guitar with a different scale length or a 7 or 8 string, you're probably going to find one of the other models might work better. Let's talk about the Nitro now, because this is a totally different animal. I mentioned earlier, bit JCM 800, bit recto. Let's hear it at the stock settings. And I'm just going to flick to channel D, where I've dialed it in to my taste based on my experience with the real amp. Basically, this has so much gain. We'll hear SPLAWN Nitrous 1 and then 2. They both sound pretty similar. Again, try them and go with whatever works for you. Overall, the Nitro is a lot smoother and fizzier than a lot of other so-called metal amps out there. But if you want something that I guess is a little chunkier sounding than a classic modded Marshall, it might be a really good way to get into that sort of tone. Otherwise, the Quick Rod is amazing. If you find that you don't get on with the Friedman or the Cameron models in there, try the SPLAWNs. That is all for today. Hope you enjoyed this particular episode of 5 Minute Tones, and I will see you all very soon for another one. Take it easy.